Yes, my shit right here. So this my shit right here. Welcome back to another episode of Road to William. Y'all, today's guest is one of my longtime friends. I call her my little sis, not to be on that, you my little sis, but it's more so like she's literally younger than me, and I've watched her grow up to be an amazing young woman out here uh, living her dream, living out what she's always wanted to do. Moved out to Atlanta. She's always talked about moving out there. And I just am really proud of seeing her live out her dreams, because not a lot of people do that. A lot of people can do that. But she has made sure she's paving the way for herself. And I don't know if she knows this, she's paving the way for the young bucks behind her. She is, let me get this right. I got my info right here. Now, this is on the official Instagram of the Ebony Burlesque Atlanta Pageant. Their page on Instagram. Go check them out. I like, bro, what? Go check them out. I'll post it on here. They have my little sis pinned up there, September 15th, 2023, our version of Miss Black America. Congratulations to Afrodisiac Slays on being the first ever Ebony Burlesque Atlanta winner. She gave the girls a show and took home the crown and took home the crown. Thank you for your wonderful sponsor. Okay, they shouting everybody out. Yo, my sis out here winning awards. What's your sis doing? Hmm? 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 Anyways, like, bro, I'm just excited for her. So I'm welcoming her on the show. So give it up, give a round of applause for Afrodisiac Slay. Welcome back to another episode of Road to William. Y'all, I got a special guest here today. My little sis. She not my real little sis, but we met in college and I adopted her.
What you mean I'm not your real?
Shining a light on her because she's not only a great friend, she's also paving a way in the burlesque game, and she's going to tell her story and why she wants to continue on this journey, her past of how she started. We're going to hear from her. She also is a singer. She's going to be shy about it, but we are going to have to hear some tunes at some point. Point blank, period.
Okay.
Okay. So say what's up to Road to William.
What's up, y'all? So excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and what got you started, not only in music but also burlesque in your journey with that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I am 29 years old. Um, yeah, Milwaukee born and raised. I moved to Alabama in 2020. And then just back in August, recently moved to Georgia. So definitely have been getting a little bit of taste of different areas, but home will always be home. It's where I started doing both music and burlesque. I started doing music in college with an amazing musician, Be Free, another amazing musician, Kendall J, another amazing musician, Quentin Farr, and it all came together from Jay Anderson, a saxophonist who was absolutely amazing. He's now in New Orleans, is amazing. But yeah, I got my start there. We had like it was a bunch of more people in the band as well, but had the opportunity to play for Ishdar, a Milwaukee rapper, at Summerfest. We also got to open because of Be Free for Janelle Monáe at Summerfest as well. So that was super dope. And then of course I also did a lot of music with you in college. So that always pulled me out of my little shyness when it came to singing and encouraging me to use my voice. So appreciative of that. But yeah, that's how I got started with music. I got started with burlesque somewhat similarly. We were hosting the Alverno drag show together.
Whoop,
Yeah,
whoop.
and did that. And
Yeah,
met
that was
some
one of the best hosting ever. We could host the BET Awards
look and could and would and should.
and
But
should.
yeah. So yeah, we started together. And yeah, we ended up meeting some amazing drag performers and burlesque performers. And performed in a show together. And I first started doing a drag king act, and it was to Bring It On. And I was the jazz hands guy. These aren't spear fingers. These. Yes, yes. So that was dope. But I also was a ticket girl, and I loved that. Ate that down, okay, with my little high knee socks and my little leotard or whatever. I thought I was the shit. And I saw burlesque. And I'm like, that's the shit I want to do. And so I started performing from there, and it's been quite the journey.
um, when you moved to Atlanta and you moved away from home for the first time, um, how did that change you? How did it shape you? You know, and moving forward, like where do you see yourself taking this?
Okay, okay. So I definitely moving from Milwaukee to Atlanta pushed me to be out of my comfort zone, because I've built such a wonderful foundation that I'm so appreciative of back in Milwaukee, of burlesque performers and drag performers who support me and uplift me. Um, and coming to Atlanta, it's like you kind of starting fresh. And it also helped to prove to myself how great of a performer I am. Because a lot of times imposter syndrome is what is mainly running my mind. And when I look back and I reflect on that move, it did show me like this is what you're great at. Here's where you can improve. It also tied me to um, help to tie in other connections with folks who I needed to have, blessed to have, that were brought into my life at the perfect time in my burlesque career. Milwaukee was a great place for me to birth my burlesque and grow into, okay, who is my brand? Who am I? And so to come to Atlanta, it's like this is me. Where what am I flourishing in, and where do I need to grow?
What is that scene like there in Atlanta for those? I've never been to Atlanta. I plan on coming out there. Um, what is it like out there with the burlesque scene, but also just the black scene out there too? What is the? Because I noticed for me when I moved out to LA, like the I think LA is one of just a bigger Milwaukee. Like it is a melting pot. But the environment is different. The people are different. Like you're gonna get your racism, the typical people, the transphobia, the homophobia. That's everywhere. But it's different, and just going back home, I feel like there's a big difference. It almost feels a little gray in Milwaukee sometimes, but how do you, how did that how do you view that, like coming from Milwaukee to Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is different, but I feel like I also have to speak personally for me. Everybody has how they perceive their new space and place. For me, because of who I've encountered, I've really enjoyed who I've met and being able to build community. I feel like people have definitely helped me, especially Black folks. There's a lot of Black performers in Atlanta, and I love it. And I feel like, of course, there's always room for us to connect more and build a stronger community. But I will say that I've worked with multiple people in different facets, and in different shows. And I feel like there's a level of professionalism. There is a deep love for Blackness, but I also feel like this is my experience because that's what I exude. A very deep love for my culture. And so I feel like that's I'm gonna attract when I'm being in this new space and place. Um, and I've been offered opportunities that are very unique to Atlanta, like the Ebony Burlesque Pageant. Um, so yeah, I feel like people are looking to make strides to uplift our queer and black burlesque community, black and brown. So yeah, yeah. But I definitely feel like with Milwaukee too, there's that same camaraderie.
Oh, that's good. I feel like Milwaukee is growing in a way like we never seen before.
Headway for the black burlesque scene in Milwaukee. We have Lesbianas, we have Black Diamond, we have Coco Pearlesque. Like we have Ray Hudson who also does singing as well. Like we have some amazing artists um who are doing some big things.
And I wanted to say too, what do you think Milwaukee can do to be more inclusive with Black people, Black artists? Because yeah, like I was a drag king, and I saw how just a few Black kings I knew in Milwaukee was I could count it on my one hand, and just seeing it like that, but seeing now that it's growing, do you think they could be doing something more?
Yes, definitely. Because yes, although we have like these amazing black scenes, it's surrounded by whiteness, and controlled by whiteness. For example, we look at Pride Fest. We have a staple right now going with Montel Infinity Ross. Also with a lot of other drag and burlesque performers as well. We have Liz Be Honest. And so we're seeing more pockets of blackness and pride than I've ever seen since I first started. But there's a need for more, like instead of pockets, every single facet, the black performing community needs to be present on that main dance stage. Like it shouldn't just be, okay, we have a really strong group. Okay, we've met our quota. What? No! And they've pioneered for us to be able to raise a bigger stink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like y'all aren't about to just it's a no. It's a no. It's a yes because we should have that presence. But it's a don't just think that you give us, oh, we've appeased. No, we want to be represented, period.
But
In
if we ask
every
for
single
more,
facet.
you ask for more, it's like you're ungrateful. Like, but you're here though. See?
You keep pulling people from Chicago and whoop top the bam.
That is true. They
We
never
are talking about including people who are from there,
local, local.
who are from there. And I think the intersection stage is great, and we should have a presence there as well. We make up a lot of the culture in Milwaukee. We do. Let's just be real, just like we do for the nation. I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah.
So we should be represented. And we have Jinx, who's also a person of color, who is creating a fashion. That was the first year that I saw the fashion show, possibly. But the fact that it's there and it's another person of color who is expressing their giving space to express their art and their story. And yeah, I just feel like there's definitely there's always work that can be done.
That's true. That is true. Pride Fest too, though. They need to. I feel like more than ever, and I hate to talk about stuff like that, but it's a reality. Like Pride Fest, they need to protect them more, especially outside the gates.
Mm.
Like people should feel protected in events like this because people take advantage of moments like this.
Yeah.
And so, and they even said on the news about how like the events are kind of on alert, like because there's out of control people who take advantage of that. But Pride Fest in Milwaukee, it is fun, but it is. I ain't used to like staying at Pride Fest all day because it was like not my people, not the music. I can only get
Right. Then they want to play all this bunch, like
they
I
throw,
want to shake
bro,
ass.
they throwing the beach ball. I don't even want to play, bro. Like don't throw that beach ball over here.
Okay.
I'm not lit no more. The Corona
Not for
ain't been shit,
real.
and it was expensive for no reason.
Man. Like at
So hold
least
on to
have
that
like
one
a
big
little
drink,
variety.
and you don't even want to get in line to get food. You like,
And
bro,
that overpriced food.
hot dogs and pizza. I don't
Yeah.
want that. Get better food. Get some black vendors. Get different types of food up in there. We don't want hot dogs and pizza and fried. Are we at the fair? What is going
Now
on?
I will say the last time I went, they had these walk-in tacos from a food truck.
Now stuff like that need to.
Them
It was inside
things.
though. It was inside.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good,
They
good.
had like a little row of food trucks.
Okay, they getting better with their food.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, it is. Now that food isn't overpriced.
no,
That food was
I'll pay for that.
perfectly priced and amazing.
I'm expecting to pay more. We at an event. I don't care, right? But if it's bullshit, I am gonna care. I
Right.
don't go to McDonald's up the street for half that,
Right.
and I
And
get
get the
a
same
drink,
quality.
fries, a burger, and nuggets free on the app. If I go over here and I get a little
Mhm.
sundae, extra caramel,
Right.
I can't get that over here. You
You
get one
know.
pizza for $15. You're like, damn, plus
Yeah,
tax.
it's crazy. But yeah, these little food trucks that they got going.
Okay, I gotta
Yeah,
go back there. I ain't going this year. I can't go this year, but
you do. You do need to go back.
but I do need to go back. I'll definitely go next year. I'll plan for next year.
Oh, and one more thing on the tip of diversifying Pride Fest. The reason why I say more is because the more variety and opportunity that Black people and people of color have, the more stories that can be told, the more representation that can be brought. That's all.
Yeah, so we was talking about Pride Fest. I see some lineups. You're gonna be there. I'm excited for you. Make sure somebody records that performance.
Will do for sure. Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy to see them just like on Instagram and Milwaukee Pride's acknowledging it. That's big. So
Yeah.
what made you come up with the name Afrodisiac?
But yeah. So Afrodisiac spelled with an F instead of a PH. And I did that because I feel like it's very much rooted in how much Black people are just the shit. And we're just gonna keep it a buck. And
True.
that inside of me, like the sensuality as well, and my Black sensuality will hook a motherfucker. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I was like, okay, aphrodisiac. And then the slaves came in where I feel like I slay the stage whenever I'm on it. So aphrodisiac slave. And then what was the second part of the question?
I don't know if I asked the second part.
Oh, okay.
When coming up with music, I found this interesting, like on the Drag King and being me of color Black. No, I'm just kidding. People don't like to say POCs no more. I guess that's too political. So we're gonna everybody hell. What we mean, niggas. um, just kidding. Um, but I forgot what else.
You were talking about the
Oh yeah,
music.
with the Drag King, like I found like a lot of, and not just Black people, like for real, people of color. We know who that is, and
Yeah.
the music would sound the same, and that it would be conflict with music. Do you ever find yourself, especially in Atlanta, you find yourself your music or your mixes being, because like when you perform, you kind of have your own mix, but like talk about that. Like, how do you choose your music? Do you base it off of the time that's going on today, or do you base it off your own personal? Do you do it for your fans because you know they want to hear it? How do you
Um,
how do you do that? How you pick your music and stuff?
it's really just I hear a song that I vibe with,
Mhm.
and then that's the song that I'm doing. Or I have a particular concept in my head, like this act that I'm doing for Pride Fest this year. It's more so I wrote a story and then I put music to my story.
Mhm.
So it was more intentional in that sense. But other songs, like if I vibe with it, if I feel like I can move with it, if I connect to what the song is about, that's how I choose to act. I really don't base it off my fans at all. Only because whatever I bring them, they're so supportive of
Mhm.
what I do. And I'm able to give them a better show if it's based off of something that resonates with me, and I'm able to give them more of myself in that way.
Have you ever had to conform your performance based on where you were at, what venue or people you were with? You ever find yourself doing that?
Conform? No, never.
You choose
But
to just do shows like that if they don't feel inclusive enough for you to
right.
do that.
Unless it's like a specific theme, I might do an act to a theme, but I'm never conforming.
Hmm. Interesting.
Like,
Because there's
dang.
some venues where it's like, oh, we can't, we prefer not this type of music. The words in the music is not
Well,
accepted.
kind of. Like I do know how to select acts per the venue that I'm
So
going to
that
be
is
at.
conforming. That is conforming.
I feel like it's actually shit because I'm not going to change me. I'm just changing the act that I'm bringing.
Do
For
you feel,
example,
do you feel like words like that are necessary in music for it to still get
words
across?
like what?
Like nigga.
Oh, I don't think they're necessary. Like where you have to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like have I performed to a song with it in it? Yes, I was at. I actually co-produced a show called Hot Body Summer,
Hmm.
but that was very niche. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to bring it to Atlanta Pride in a field where you know what I'm saying necessarily.
So you feel like it's times and places.
Yeah, I would bring it to the hip hop boombox show in New York,
Hmm. Okay.
but it just really depends. But I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's also subjective, but also don't. That's my own personal thing. However, other people decide,
Yeah.
other Black people decide to do that is up to them.
That's cool. You got to come back on the show again, but I do want you to leave off with something for the people who are in burlesque, in drag, or whatever they're doing creatively in their life, music, things like that. What do you give some advice to people who want to pursue things, um, pursue their dreams, pursue their goals? What's some words you can leave with people to motivate them?
I would definitely say to stay authentic to yourself, even when you're scared to do it. The fear that you have is being afraid of allowing your audience to see you that much more vulnerable. Because being our true self on a stage takes vulnerability, especially for those of us who are also taking clothes off on top of that. So, staying authentic to yourself and knowing that the audience is there for whatever you decide to share. Stay authentic in your story, stay authentic in your being and your essence and who you are as a performer and own it every single time despite what you think other people know, what is it that you're trying to bring to show your not trying, what is it that you're bringing to show your authenticity
Hmm.
instead of that?
Yeah, with the burlesque thing, do you all find it people are being respectful with performers when they're
But
performing?
it can vary. Most of the time, yes, but of course you have those folks out, especially if it's in like a mixed venue that don't really know or somebody who's never.
Oh,
Because
those are the ones that
when I was invited to a show, I was the only burlesque performer And it was like a party vibe, right? This woman comes up to me and like she's like not with that noise, like she's trying to throw up, but trying to like make out with me. And I'm like, I don't even know you. I just walked in here. What type of dumb ass shit are you on? What type of fuck shit?
No.
So, I mean, there's instances like that where those are few and far between to me.
Like sometimes, they don't have it anymore because I think after like, I hate saying that C word, but anyway, let's just skip. Never mind. um, I found those being like River West Public. What was it in River West? Was it River West Public House?
Public Company Brewing. Oh,
No, not Company Brewing. It was like a small bar on Center, off Center.
I
Remember?
know what you're talking about.
It
Yeah.
And it would sometimes people be in there. I'm like, I don't know if they,
Here
but
for this.
they, they should pay to get in for venues like that because
If there's an event, everybody should pay the door.
everybody. It
You're
shouldn't
here
be
on an
people
event
off the
day,
street
pay the
looking
door.
like I gotta look their name up, but a drag per no, I don't know if they were. I'm gonna come back to that. There was a performer who recently passed away because it was some kids following them home or whatnot, and so you gotta keep it safe. Like yeah, Pride Fest. There's always those annoying people in the front chanting right before you even get in. If you want to get your ticket, if you want to walk straight ahead, main gate. It's some assholes in the front with their signs. You're going to hell, you're going to hell. And that's like, damn, you got to try and walk around that. You can't, they're all over. You're like, damn, they done scattered. There's too much. That's why I'm saying they got to be more protective, especially with it, small bars and venues. You got to make sure we create a safe space. And that's only letting people in who vibe with each other. But yeah, I like what you said with inspiring people. And I thank you for being on the show. Do you got anything coming up that people should be? Because we dropping this June 1st. You starting it off the month.
Okay. Yes. On Friday, June 7th. Let me just pull it because I would hate to say the wrong date time. Because the way my memory's set up, baby. You're sending people all the way off. Like, what,
Oh,
girl? That literally just happened. Not too long. I got it. Wait, hold on. Here we go. I mean, do you really have it? Okay, Friday, June 7th at Pride Fest at 9 p.m. at the Intersection Stage. I will be co hosting and performing in Hue Review's Pride Fest show. This will be my fifth time hosting their show. Been hosting since they started, and also performing and debuting an act that's very personal to my soul, and we'll be using fans. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Also, later this year, if the Ebony Pageant of Atlanta continues, I will be having my step down performance as the first Ebony Burlesque Atlanta winner. And so I'll be having that step down performance. You can follow me on Instagram at Afrodisiac with an F _ slays. You can keep up to date with any shows that I'm going to be putting on. You can also catch me in New York, Baltimore.
you're going to B-Ball.
Look, okay, with Charlie's Angel Burlesque Troupe. Charlie's Angels Burlesque Troupe. You can also find them on Instagram as well. We are a burlesque troupe based in Atlanta. So yeah, that's kind of what I have coming up. Be on the lookout.
You had said something. I was like, oh, yeah. I don't forgot. But
A memory like mine.
bro, but yo, you definitely have to come back on the show. Good luck on your performance. Break a leg or whatever they say as well. But yeah, I appreciate you being on the show. Go
Thanks for
check
having
out her
me.
stuff. Peace. I'm also gonna throw when we performed that time together. Oh my goodness. Watching the video, I was like, what is young AJ doing? Y'all know my drag king name is Old School AJ. So I'm gonna show y'all that one time we performed together. I will give y'all a background story on that. We only rehearsed that one day. I had an idea. I hit her up, yo, can you be in this show with me? I'm about to do a performance, and blah, blah, blah. She's like, bet, let's rehearse real quick. But it was damn near the day of the performance. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And I already knew I already had the dance moves ready. I had what part I wanted her to do. So it was really just like, okay, do this part and I do this. So it was like, okay, without further ado, welcome Aphrodisiac Slays. Follow her on her Aphrodisiac Slays Instagram. She has Facebook. I'm not sure if she's on TikTok just yet, but let's go.